I want to watch this one clip from a news article or a news report. It's about the psychological effects of being a kid influencer. I think we should watch the full thing on a later date, but I wanted to see like feel the temperature of everyone on this topic. But I think it's a good way to wrap this conversation up, at least in this small context. There's so much more. There's mommy blogger vloggers. There's family vlog channels. There's kids who are required to post and have brand deals at 4 years old, and the rules between working in Hollywood as a child actress and working at home for your parents, and the difference in law and how insane it is. It's the wild, wild west right now in kidfluencing. And there's a lot that I think the government needs to step in and handle. At the very least, the platforms for YouTube, Instagram, all of those tech giants, before the government comes in and regulates they could also do a lot more by protecting these children, and they're choosing not to for profit, in my opinion. So I think this is an interesting documentary. This is just a part of the whole clip, or of the whole segment, but they talk to a psychologist or psychiatrist about some of the effects, and I thought it was interesting. So let's just watch it. And
Popularity of so-called kid influencers is raising questions about the potential impact of sharing children's lives online. These social media stars promote products on Instagram and make millions posting short video blogs known as vlogs. A recent study found about 1 in 3 American kids between the ages of 8 and 12 aspire to be either a vlogger or a YouTuber.
Forbes reports the highest paid YouTube star last year was 7-year-old Ryan, who earned $22 million in just 12 months, people. He hosts a...
Yeah, $22 million. And his parents are obviously the ones doing it all. Like, that is an enticing thing for parents. And now parents, you don't become a parent and become like a perfect angel immediately. Like, that amount of money, the potential to make that amount of money, is going to entice people of all walks of life to attempt it. And the problem is, and the same thing with going to Hollywood, the thing is, you can be talented as an actor or a musician, but you can only push your kids so far. They have to have some sort of ability, to be picked up and put into a Hollywood movie. You have to audition, you have to get in, you have to make, whatever. Okay. But you can force your kids, like we've just witnessed, to be a part of content, to be pushed in a way that now I'm making YouTube videos. I control it. I'm mom, I'm dad. I'm going to put my kid out there, and it's going to monetize for me depending on the platform. And now I could make $22 million. That's not going to turn people off. There's no disincentive. I don't know what the opposite of incentive is. There's nothing pushing people away from doing that. And that's sort of the concerning thing. Like, there's no downside. We might as well try. Why not? We could be $22 million richer. Let's do it. Get on camera, kid.
Popular toy review channel on the site. The latest CBSN original, Kid Influencers, Few Rules, Big Money, looks inside the estimated $4.6 billion influencer business. It includes interviews with families of these young influencers.
It's a lot of work. It's a full-time job, but it's not really a job because they're having fun.
Yay! Yes, it is a job. It is a job for your child to go to a photo shoot. They may be having fun. This is still work. And the fact that you think that it's not is a problem. I think we should look into whoever this person is. I'm curious, but this is not about that necessarily right now.
My mom's here because we're shooting on the East Coast and she's from the East Coast. She comes along, but she's skeptical because it's all brand new, like it was for us.
Maybe this is my 4th or 5th shoot. It gives them a lot of great opportunities. I see them being able to relate to adults and experiencing things that I could never even imagine. So it's kind of a great thing in that respect. But I don't know the other side of it. I don't know how that's going to influence them as they get older.
I would say that I do share the concerns that my mom has, but not so. She's very dramatic.
They're little girls. I want them to stay like that.
Psychiatrist Dr.
The fact that she's in tears, I'm glad about, because at least she has some forethought to go, is this right for them? But the fact that she's not doing anything about it, sort of like, okay, disappointing. I mean, she's the grandma. What can she really do? But it seems like the mom is like, oh, it's fine. Like, are you sure it's fine with you? But are your kids, they're in a photo shoot. They're not doing kid stuff. I don't know. It just makes them grow up so fast.
Dr. Sue Varma is here with the biggest issues for these social media stars and whether your kids should be following them online. Good morning. So there are the kids who are in the videos, and then there are the kids who are watching them. For the kids who are in the videos, are there psychological risks for parents putting them out there like that?
Yes. The fact that you're even asking that is asinine. Yes, there's psychological risks. There has to be. Even thinking about like Aaron Carter, who obviously just passed away, like, on Saturday or Sunday, like he had a much more traditional Hollywood upbringing, but even that, you got to look at that and go, okay, that is what's about to happen to a lot more families, I believe, in the spotlight. Child vlog star, can they transition into an adult entertainment role? Do they even want to do that? Is their money being spent by the parents? Was it handled correctly? Now they're fighting with each other. Like, of course it's psychological. Yes, there is psychological risks to putting your children, to put them into a working environment. This YouTube channel takes work. Whether you want to admit it or not, it does. It takes work, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes money, it takes time. I said that already, but like but time is the biggest thing. Your children should not be exchanging time for income yet. Wait till they're 16 at least. My God, at 18 at the most, but like, they shouldn't be working. This is work.
Children that are social media stars are contending with all of the social pressures of being children in a digital age combined with being a child star. And we know that child stars are more likely to have anxiety, depression, substance issues later on in life because they're dealing with their sense of self-esteem being linked to public approval, career success, right? And the hits and the likes, and there's an intoxication. There's almost like an addiction to it, and they don't have the coping skills to deal with failure and disappointment.
There are rules for kids who work on a film or TV set, but there aren't really rules for this, are there?
No, and it's really concerning because anytime you have a family business, look, the child in this case is the product, right?
Yes,
so when does it end? It's a 24/7 job, and I'm concerned about where do parents who have to gain financially from this, how do they set the rules? And I'm troubled by this because the intrusive nature, it's 24/7, and the parents that are supposed to be protecting them in this case are obviously oversharing sometimes.
Although, to be fair, many of the parents say, look, we're making a lot of money, but kids cost a lot of money, and this is going to college and everything else.
Then don't have children. If you cannot afford to have children, then don't have children. Make that a conscious effort. Don't say, well, I got to put my child to work for me because I can't afford to have a child. Like, he's been on this show before, this anchor. I forget his name. I got to look him up. He was talking to Bethany Frankel, and I sort of like made a comment about him before. And this is the second time he's appeared now where he's made some sort of question that I'm like, are you an idiot? Like, not to call him like boomer, like to age him. It's not an age thing. It's like an understanding of media. You work for a large media conglomerate, but you don't understand. And you're supposed to be explaining things of the world to us, like peon viewers. Okay, how about you take a second to understand like the way this all works for a moment? Like, I just feel like he's like, well, you know, like just spoil your children because they're expensive. Do you think college costs $22 million? Idiot. Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be mean to him as a person, but like, that's an excuse you're gonna like lay towards this person that's trying to come and explain like the psychological risks of putting your kid on TV. Are you focused in? Are you like reading the room here?
So is that a good counterpoint?
No, I don't think so. I think that parents have to be the ones to protect their kids. And the problem is that right now in a digital age, to achieve success, it is both endless and merciless. And where are we going to teach our kids the values, right? This is really promoting instant gratification at the expense, I think, of substance and depth.
And these kids don't have any other experience. This is all that they know because some of these kids are babies that are having to be posted online and probably get that validation from the likes and all of that. But what about the other kids who are watching these videos? And idolizing these kids that look like their lives are perfect. What's the impact on them?
Yeah, so the kids, and we have to make people realize that our sense of mastery and self-esteem has to come from a variety of things. Sports, leadership in the community, leadership in your schools. This is not the be-all and end-all. And I'm concerned when more kids want to be YouTubers as opposed to astronauts. Yep. And the fact that we are letting our kids have too much screen time. Kids, when they're spending time with other children, should not be on their screen. They should be outside playing. It is a form of bringing people together, but it's not the only form.
All right, Dr. Sue Varma, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Anyone who says this online community is a replacement for real in-person community is lying to you. I'm sorry. To me, there is absolutely no replacement for, a family unit, a actual community in which you live. You have neighbors and people, and I don't have that. I don't have a robust community. I'm trying to get one at some point in person. Community online, especially when it's like you as the producer of the content of the community in which you run it. It is something that exists outside of and away from natural human interaction. It has to. That cannot be your entire being. My community in life is me going on YouTube and people watching me. That is not a fair relationship. I hate when people say let's have a conversation. Rachel Hollis is a big one to be I'm going to just as if you were my girlfriend, at lunch. And this is the conversation that me and you would have. I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. And I'm speaking to a large group of people. That has its place. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not a replacement for children in a classroom to get to know each other, or kids on a baseball team. Putting them on a YouTube channel, it's not going to replace that. Having people adore you and blocking people who say bad things to you on a platform is not the same thing as working together in a group to solve a problem. It's not the same thing as learning to, cooperate or share or any of that stuff. And I feel badly for people who are bypassing, all those lessons in life to profit immediately because, that's the way to make money. And it's even... If you want to go even closer and more detail, the Mila Stauffer stuff, and that's, if you know, Micah Stauffer. She's a person who had her own similar, I would say, to Heidi in the sense of she had her own personal brand and had a vlog and then had babies and then made more money because people want to see the babies. Then you have the baby shower video, you have the wedding video, you have the baby's born video, you have the baby's naming video, and they're very profitable, at least back then, when she had her channel. And then on top of that, adoption was a big hot topic at the time. So she adopted a child, and then the child was difficult for her to raise because it had, issues and medical concerns that she was searching for, specifically her and her husband, I should say, not just her and her husband, both did it. They had a vlog and they posted about, raising their crazy family together. Our biological kids, our adopted kid, whatever. And then all of a sudden the adopted child disappeared, wasn't in any videos anymore. And people who rightfully so were hey, where's your son? They had to come out, even though they were going to pretend he didn't exist. They came out and did this video where they're crying. They're on their bed in white sheets with white because they're angels, explaining why they had to rehome their son. Are you kidding me? And you're going to tell me that is wasn't for financial gain. And then she decided or they decided this is actually a human life that's really difficult to take care of. It's not worth the money, the millions of dollars we're making. It's not worth it. I want to enjoy our own children. That's just one example of a horror story to come through. But think about all the people that watch those videos and go, oh, that family's so perfect. They're so perfect. They're so perfect. They're making millions of dollars. Oh my God, I want to do that with my children. It's bad. It's bad. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know. I thought about even in Hollywood, there's so many Hollywood stars or Nickelodeon stars and Disney stars that end up not doing well. And it's we should not have media with children in it. I'm is that a real solution? I don't know. But I just think there needs to be some big deterrent away from putting your kids online and profiting immediately. There's too many risks involved. They cannot consent. That lives forever. And the thing is Heidi and Dave, they're of the age, Heidi's 40, Dave is like almost 50. They're of the age where they didn't grow up as kids having social media. They didn't have YouTube as children. So they don't understand what it's like. I don't even understand. I'm 31. I barely understand what it's like. I was already a teenager. If you were like 3 years old and consuming YouTube content from your whole life, how that would feel if you were now a part of that ecosystem where it lives and breathes forever and ever and ever. I don't know. It's something to think about. Something to keep in mind when, you know, having children, posting them, watching and consuming this content. You're setting your kids up for failure, I think. And I think there's more than this. The conversation has been said a million times already. I've watched enough videos where people have brought light to this concern. We need to figure out what is the solution. Like, is it a government, you know, body? Is it some sort of governing body? Is it part of the entertainment industry where they have a board of ethics? Is it some sort of YouTube thing? Is it a social media thing? Is it a law that goes in place? Like, you cannot appear on camera until you've consented and you have to sign away some sort of right. Like as a parent, there needs to be some sort of like, I don't know, like thing to overcome, because it's too simple just to do it. There's no reason not to do it now. You might as well just like doing the lottery. It's like, that's $1. I can enter the lottery. I can try. What's the harm? And people will keep doing that until it's like, no, the lottery now costs $1 million to enter. You're only going to get certain people who have that amount of money or are going to, you know, be willing to take a huge loan out of a risk. Like, I know that doesn't really make sense, but there's no reason not to try. The prize is so big. It could potentially be $22 million a year. Look at that one boy. We might as well try. But in the process of trying and most likely failing, because most of the influencers that are going to try are going to not succeed monetarily, at least, they're going to damage the kids along the way. And what is real life? What is for the view of others? What is the way that we talk to each other behind a closed door? What is safety? Am I allowed to walk freely in my house, or do I always have to look around the corner and see if my mom's got her phone out and going to take a video of me? Like, those are the things that kids should not have to deal with. And kids should feel secure and safe in their home, and they should feel that they have privacy when they want it, and not feel like, oh, I can't disrespect my parents by saying no. But that does not happen in every household. I guarantee you, you cannot say no to your parents, and many, many households, mine included.